Hey there everyone, Odium the Boy here, coming at you with Origami Phan's Purple Lilithmon deck for BT07. So this is more like an honorary deck profile, like thanks for playing 40 rounds with me video. So yeah, this is the deck that I've been playtesting against like throughout the entire format, including the delayed format. And I wanted to show it off and kind of thank Origami Phan, shout out to him for playtesting with me throughout the whole thing, or like throughout this whole format, and still playtesting with me. Yeah, and because Eyesmon's going down to 1, this deck is gonna become like expired on May 27th, basically. Because, I mean, technically it's gonna be the week before. It's like May 20th or something now, because that's when pre-release is for BT8. But basically, it's gone by when BT8 comes around. It's sad. This card is so good. But yeah, let's go into the deck profile and why Origami Phan constructed it the way he did. I also constructed my own version, but I played against it so many times that I kind of figure what he's doing now. So for Demi-Meramon, let's start there. Inheritable on deletion, trigger draw 1, then trash 1. So that's just a solid baby. He likes to suicide his stuff. That's his main combo playstyle. So, and then the next one is Gabumon. That's the one you want to put on top of Demi-Mera. And the inheritable is draw 2, then trash 1. So that's really good. Like, if you put this, and Scatter Mode on top, you're drawing a lot and trashing a lot, which is really good. For Gazi, because Floodgate, you're gonna stop your opponent from gaining memory, except with Tamer effects. So he stops blue hard. Like, I didn't play blue all that much actually for some reason. Blue hybrids is my shit, but anyways, Gazimon was like wrecking me every time I played blue. So good work. Scattered Mode, Eyesmon. On deletion, draw 3, then trash 2, Graceful Charity, basically. So, he's really good. If he doesn't die, then he's not good. Like, if he gets jamming. The joke. The one that's going down to 1, let's go into this card for a bit. Eyesmon. When you trash this card in your hand using one of your effects, if Scatter Mode's in the trash, you may play this card without paying the memory cost. For each Scattered Mode in your trash, it gets 2,000 power. So he's going down to 1. For a really good reason. Chimeramon. So basically Chimeramon is the DNA Digivolve. If you watched my BTA deck profile video, then you would know why he's like a staple in all the decks and why he's really good. Because when you DNA Digivolve 2 level 4s together, so if you put 2 on top of each other, 2 level 4s on top of each other, like 2 Eyesmons on top of each other, you can go into a Chimeramon and just swing immediately. Because it doesn't have because DNA Digimon don't have summoning sickness, which is like, wow, that's actually powerful. Pseudo rush, you know? And be able to get Eyesmon out so easily is really easy. Like, the amount of time... If you watched any of the Lilithloop gameplay videos that I've been putting out, any of them, he's always spamming like 2-3 Eyesmons at once. He calls them the Trace Amigos. I'm like... Oh no. That was King when he played Digimon. Origami Phan calls him his boys, his 3 boys, because he always spam 3. But yeah, it's so easy. And then you can DNA, and then just, I mean, what he's been doing is promote for the rush, but like, the DNA is so much faster and stronger, because Chimeramon swing is deadly, and it can board wipe potentially. I don't know about what. It's just overall stronger. It's just like, that's why it's going down to 1. So that's why Eyesmon's going down to 1, but he's really good in this deck because he turbos up for the promote, and you can just keep swinging with promote. So promote has rush, which is really good. So if you Digivolve for 1 on top of a Eyesmon, you're swinging right away. And the on-play effect doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. You don't run the Kinkakumon or the Ginkakumon, so that on-play effect doesn't matter. But let's go over it anyway. You may play 1 Kinkakumon and 1 Ginkakumon from your trash into Digimon's Digivolution cards. If you place 2 cards with this effect, trigger draw 1 and gain 1 memory. So that effect doesn't matter in this deck. It doesn't matter. I just read it because, you know, I like reading cards. Just in case you care. Thanks, subs. Cerberusmon, Church of Cerberus. On deletion, trigger draw 2, then trash 1. He's very good with the Werewolf Mode combo. Werewolf Mode. So he has rush as well. On play, you may delete one of your Cerberusmon to gain 9 memory. It has to be exactly Cerberusmon. So it has to be. You can't delete a Werewolf Mode to get another Werewolf Mode out. You has to be this guy. So if you hard play him for 9 and you gain 9 back, you're playing this for free basically. And then he's basically just a win con, like you're just winning. And then if you hit this with him, it's funny. Dead or alive. But let's keep going through the Mons first before we keep moving here. So Lilithmon, he runs 3. Origami Phan runs 3. When Digivolving, you have 10 or more cards in your trash. You may turn up to 2 purple option cards from your trash to your hand. Once per turn, when you use an option card, gain 2 memory. So that's really good with Jack Raid. That's just that's part of the big Lilith Loop combo. Like literally just Jack Raid it, get the 2 Jack Raids back when you Digivolve into her. When you use a Jack Raid, you gain 2 memory in addition to the memory you gain with Jack Raid. So 1 for every card in the trash, you know, for every 10 cards in the trash. So you're getting at least 1 plus 2, that's 3 memory already. Then if you use multiple, it's crazy. Then Nidhogg. When you trash this card in your hand using your effects, gain 1 memory, and then when Digivolving, you may trash 1 card in your hand, delete when your opponent's level 4 lower Digimon. So that when Digivolving actually does come up. He actually does Digivolve into this sometimes. It comes up. It's good. Most people forget that he has a when Digivolving effect, so it was just interesting that he actually remembered it and used it on me sometimes in our games, and I'm like, oh. True Champ Steve said if you use that, if you Digivolve into it, you're probably losing, and I'm like, man, sometimes he's winning when he does that. I don't know what you're thinking, Steve. Level 7, Zort. I don't know why I hate Zort. He's actually a pretty good card. Like, Origami Phan has used this so many times on me that I'm like, why did I hate this card? It's probably because I didn't know how to use purple at the time. When Digivolving, trash the top 3 cards of your deck. Then you may play up to 2 black or purple Digimon cards that has a play cost of 8 or less from your trash while paying your memory cost. So this lets you just spam your bodies back, like Cerberus, Promote, Eyesmon, Scatter Mode, etc., whatever you want to bring out. When attacking, you may return 1 level 6 Digimon card from this Digimon sources to your hand to delete when your opponent's unsuspended Digimon that has a play cost of 12 or less. So, yeah, that comes up. It rarely comes up. Usually he's just winning after the win Digivolving because he plays the other lower level stuff to get the combo going. Yeah. Win rate, 60%. So here, the options now. If you have a Tamer in play, you may use this option card without meeting its color requirements. The next time when your Digimon Digivolves this turn, you may trash 1 Digimon card in your hand of the same color as the Digivolving Digimon to reduce the memory cost of that Digivolution by 4. So he usually uses this with Zord to make him a 2 cost, technically a 4, because you would pay 2. Or sometimes he would use the 2 to make Lilithmon free. It's just a really overall good card, and trashing helps. It's only a 1-up though, it doesn't come up that much. But when it comes up, it comes up. It puts in the work. Alright, Deathclaw. You may delete one of your Digimon to delete up to 1 of your opponent's level 4 lower Digimon. So that you may is actually important. Because you can use this for 1 and not even delete anything. It's crazy because of that you may. And it says up to 1, so you don't even have to delete your opponent's Digimon if you don't want to, even if you delete one of your own. Wait. Oh no, it still works, it's just the wording's different from the actual card here. But yeah, you can just delete one of your own Digimon and not delete your opponent's. Or not even delete your own, but you can't delete your opponent's if you do that part, so. My head was Cherubimon for some reason. It's because I also use it in Cherubimon. But anyways, Calling from Darkness, 2 of it. Origami Phan. Delete one of your Digimon, then return up to 2 purple cards from your trash in your hand. So I like this card because it's good, because he usually uses this to delete the Eyesmon. So delete Eyesmon, then grab 2 cards. Make sure you don't grab the Eyesmon when you do that, the Eyesmon scatter mode. So because on deletion effects have to trigger when they're in trash. So if they leave the trash, then it doesn't activate. So you grab your 2, make sure it's not scattered mode, because scattered mode won't trigger if you take it back. And then after you're done with that, then you do the draw 3, ditch 2. Because you have to resolve everything for your first, and then you activate the next effect. But yeah, that's what he usually does. He just pops that, and then grabs his cards, and then draw 3, ditch 2. Make sure you don't grab the scatter mode. Jack Raid 4. It's Hammer Spark. Gain 1 memory for every 10 cards in trash, and then security effect, gain 2 memory. Poor Vmon. So close now. I tried to ignore the art because they're violating Vmon hardcore, and I'm like, no. But that's a really good card. That's a 4-off just because gaining the memory is the key to the Lilith loop. Where it's like you just play that, get them back, gain a memory, do whatever you need to do to win the game. Like either Cerberus out, or promote, or Zord, or just spam the board and then Digivolve into promote for game. Like, there's just so many ways to win. As long as you have enough memory and cards in deck. This deck can easily deck out. Dead or Alive. Pay 8. Play 1 purple level 5 Digimon from your trash while paying the cost. If there are 10 or more in the trash, you may play 1 Digimon card with Lilithmon. That last part doesn't matter, but the first part does. Then the security is activate the main effect. It's because he doesn't run the particular Lilithmon, but like the first part's what we care about, so we can play the werewolf mode and win. Like if you happen to have that out, or if it triggers insecurity, you can play it, and then if you have a Cerberusmon out, do the effect, then gain your memory, and then make it your turn. It's so funny. It's so good. Dead or Alive. The attack he used to... That's the attack he used to like beat the crap out of like all the Frontier Tamers. Dumb. 1 mat. From Purple Mat. Memory Setter, and then return 1 purple Digimon card or purple option from your trash or hand. That's just more because Memory Setter. Make sure you're set at 3. And grabbing something doesn't hurt. Analog Youth is so good. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 Digimon card among them. Trash the remaining cards. When your level 5 or higher Digimon with sources is deleted, you may suspend this tamer. If you do, gain 1 memory and attach 1 egg. It's amazing. It's really good. But yeah, that's the overall deck. It was a great honor fighting against this deck in non-stop. Like, honestly, most people get tired of the loop, but I was like, man, I actually learned the loop because I played against it so many times. I built my own deck and we did a mirror. That video is gonna come up at some point. It's in the schedule, but like we did a mirror and I was like doing really well just because I was rewatching all these videos and editing them. So I was like learning subconsciously. So I actually learned how to loop subconsciously just from watching and experiencing the deck every time we played. I was like, wow, I suffered so much through the loop. It was also very fun though. I also enjoyed playing against it. I don't know why. I just like when my opponent has fun too. As long as they're like, because he was having a great time doing this. Like, deck evolved over the format. Like, watching some of the videos, it's surprising that like how old the videos are compared to like where the deck is now, because we're on the schedule. I'm like, oh, yeah, it did evolve. Like, there were so many different things about this deck. He's still messing around with it. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching this honorable deck profile for Lilithloop. Rest in peace, Eyesmon, because this is going to be the last format where you're at 4. You're probably never going to come back, but goodbye. It was great fighting against you. You did great. It was just great. I said that word like 5 times, but it's okay. It's a good word. Thank you, Eyesmon. Thank you, Origami Phan. And thank you all. Alright, I'll catch you all next time.